The Lligwy region in Anglesey presents an interesting juxtaposition of ruins from three separate eras. The first you come to is a Neolithic burial chamber standing guard over Lligwy Bay, and a little further you reach a car parking area overlooking the ruins of medieval church Capel Lligwy. Then a short walk across the field and through a small wood to walk through the gate of an ancient fortified homestead, originally from the Iron Age but last occupied 16 centuries ago. Now the Lligwy burial chamber is also called Arthur's Coit, and there's certainly a charm to this distinctive monument. There's an air of tranquility and isolation about it. It's a Neolithic monument, and it contains a huge capstone which rests on a ring of 8 small upright stones that frame a natural fissure in the limestone bedrock, so it gives it a squashed look, as if the supporting stones are slowly being forced into the ground by the massive weight. I've heard of the Neolithic people using these natural fissures in limestone, sandstone, rock, whatever, before. It's like it had some kind of significance to them. But actually only 3 of these uprights, which is often the case, support the huge capstone, which weighs an immense 25 tonnes plus and measures 18 feet long and about 15 feet wide. And it's said to be one of the biggest in Britain, possibly the biggest. And when you're inside the monument, the 25 tonnes seems immensely real, even intimidating. It would originally have been covered with a mound of earth or stone, with access to the central chamber through a small passage. And the bones of the dead would have possibly been interred here some 5,000 years ago. And it was a place of communal burials. And excavations about 100 years ago found the bones of over 30 adults and children, which included animal bones. And the Beaker Groove ware pottery that were found there gives evidence to this age. And it's been suggested it was in use for over 1,000 years, well into the Bronze Age, which is when the pottery began to become more common. The location and the views would have once been spectacular, but the building of the roads and the hedges blocked the view to the north coast towards the Great Orme. It's been suggested that this heavy slab was probably levered up from where it lay originally, rather than being dragged here, smaller stones then wedged underneath it. But what was it doing here? Is there a natural fissure underneath it? Oh, I don't know. And obviously the people who built it had no access to metal tools at the time, which makes the structure even more remarkable. They surely had knowledge and skills that we don't understand. Now the medieval church at Capel Lligwy I've already done a video on a few weeks ago, but across the field we've got Din Lligwy, which is atmospheric and well preserved remains with hut circles from an ancient village, and it's not far from the coast. And apparently the din in the name refers to the surrounding protective wall, which is an irregular pentagon. And I think it was originally Iron Age type of wall settlement, constructed of limestone set on the summit of the limestone plateau. And the settlement's about 170 feet by 150 feet, so it's quite big. And the 3-foot wide dry stone wall that surrounds it includes many large orthostat stones, and it was more likely to keep livestock in rather than defensive. And like I've already said, the origins of the settlement were probably a small farming community, and it's very well preserved. It has a reliable source of fresh water nearby, well positioned to support a community of settlers, and it's thought to have been occupied for a very long time. And in one corner stands the remains of a large impressive house, a well-built circle of large limestone slabs with steps leading up to the entrance. And a silver ingot, pottery and glassware have been discovered at the building. There is some rectangular buildings there, and the largest was found to contain large amounts of metallic slag, as well as the remains of several halves with charcoal. Evidently a workshop for the smelting of and working of iron. And of course excavations found hundreds of Roman period pot shards and stuff from the 3rd and 4th century. The Romans always appear, don't they? All in all, a very interesting area, well worth a visit, the 3 sites.